What a stage, what a stage, what a stage. But as you know, folks, the grind set never stops. So here we are with the Vuelta Stage 13, a transition sort of stage, but no breakaway, like a little uphill sprint. Really hard to categorize. It was one for the punchier sprinters, I guess. Pedersen was the odds-on favourite, just about. Van Poppel, I think, second favourite. Soft break went with Vandenberg, Okemika, and Bowles. So that meant with them pegged at 2:08, absolutely going to be a bunch sprint uphill today. And Trek and Bora Hansgrohe pacing, as well as Bex had paced early with for Groves, who'd already won a stage in this second week of the Vuelta. GC teams started to pace once the break was caught into that run-in. I think there was a 3 kilometer rule applied today. So there's a little uphill kick, slight downhill or flatter section, then it goes uphill again for the last 700 meters. There's a couple of corners too, the big right-hander at the base of the final little punch. Ineos trying to keep Carlos Rodriguez in good position. Cavagna the same, goes for Remco. Evenepoel, and it always is curious to me, it makes sense what GC teams are doing here, but Movistar, I always wonder, when teams wake up in the morning, do the directors and do the teams think, what can we do today to maximize the probability of us winning today or getting something out of today? And I don't know if Enric just got detached from Verona's wheel and Oliveira and Verona were just giving him a lead up because he came third or fourth on the LaGuardia uphill punch in the Basque Country. I don't know. But them pacing now without that being an explanation makes very, very little sense to me, especially when Valverde's not on the wheel either. Fred Wright, I think, is in fourth wheel. Merlier, Pedersen, Groves are that group of three further down. So because it's not a flat finish, slightly uphill, it takes longer, obviously, slower speed. Draft still incredibly important. I didn't see because there was no TV coverage of the break formation. I wondered whether Fred Wright would try and get the break today. I presume if he did, it would probably get shut down by Trek Segafredo. So Merlier as well. He really struggles on these finishes which have any sort of complication. He did well in an Algarve sprint, maybe uphill, but with some twists and turns without a perfect lead out, he's really struggled in this Vuelta, and that continued today. He's got the lead out, looks good on the right hand side. 3 guys, more than just about anybody else. Pedersen's just got Kirsch, who's been doing a magnificent job this Vuelta. Coquard is the slender, small figure for the Cofidis. He's got one man. Wright's got one man. Ackerman's got Milano in front of him. And I think Groves is actually in front of his lead out following Merlier's wheel. So yeah, Movistar, I don't really know. I like Verona. Verona should be allowed to go on the break to win on Sierra de la Pandera, or at least come third for points tomorrow. Really, really strong rider. They need the points, but we'll see if that happens tomorrow. And Pedersen's eating a little bit of wind on the left-hand side. Kirsch is looking back, making sure he's there. Ackerman and Milano paired up to win a Tour de Pologne uphill sprint earlier, about a month and a half ago. So the problem has been their chemistry and trying to stay in sync, which they struggled again to do today. And it's looking okay for Merlier. He just gets shuffled back really easily. In fact, Groves has bumped him off his own lead out. Jumbo Visma launched on the right-hand side. We think, is this for Mike Turnison? He doesn't mind a sprint like this. Actually, no. I think it's Chris Harper bringing them up at this point, and it's Mike Turnison on his wheel. Harper's had a really good Vuelta, and a resurgence this year as a domestique, above average domestique in sort of Grand Tour races. Turnison, though, it's him leading out Roglic with about 800 meters to go after this corner. So one man in front, that's not going to be enough for an uphill finish like this. A flat finish, that's too far. And it's curious because Turnison has got a bigger kick than Roglic, and takes the corner maybe better. And I did wonder, should Roglic lose the wheel here? I'd argue yes, he should. Force the others to close Turnison. Maybe they don't close Turnison, who's very strong. Probably they would. Someone would jump out. There's too many fresh riders here. But he kind of spends his own bickies here, closing down out of the draft into Turnison's wheel. Merlier's been squeezed by Pedersen and Groves and keeps getting squeezed by Ackerman. Ackerman slots onto Pedersen's wheel, takes it without a fight from Caden Groves. And Milano's already done a big sprint to get onto Roglic's wheel. Then a Bora rider moves up, but Van Poppel's not on the wheel, and Van Poppel's going to get squeezed as well. And then there's this big left-hand corner coming up. Pedersen's on the front too early. Pedersen didn't jump early enough the other day. He likes a long sprint, sometimes too long. And Pascal Ackerman, I know it's in the shade, so you can't see too well. 5%, it's 350 meters to go. 30 seconds, I think, plus left in the sprint. He bails out Mads Pedersen here. really badly. I think Milano was already spent, so he just had to wait on Pedersen and just play it cool. And he jumps so early. You think the finish is around this corner when the camera's about to straighten up? We're not at the finish yet. He's still going. They've created a huge gap. I think Pacher and everyone squeezed Van Poppel, Groves into way out of non-competitive position. And Coquard, you see launching, he makes up so much ground. Coquard probably does the last 200 of this race faster than anybody else for doing horses 200 to 0 sectionals. And yeah, Ackermann just gives Pedersen a lead out. It's like still 250 to go. We're still nowhere near the finish. Like he sits down before the end. Like Ackermann's really good on these uphill finishes. He just went way too early. And if Milano gave him a lead out, I don't know. But Pedersen got the free draft. We're still going and takes his Vuelta stage win that he's been looking for. Multiple second places. Coquard nips around Ackermann for second. He finished really fast and a nice little bundle of points for Cofidis. But yeah, you can see here, Ackermann just had to wait on, and Pedersen jumped straight away. He's got that quicker, and because Ackermann's got a big jump on him, he actually, see the separation he got to a non-sprinter like Pacher. He's already put 25 meters into him, but Pedersen can match that initial burst and gets into the draft. And once he has the gap behind him, he can just wait in the draft a little bit till Ackermann sits down and then does the business. So Pedersen seemingly looks like in career best shape. I don't know if he's in better shape than Worlds 2019 or Tour de France 2020 where he was flying, but he's looking very good, but he won't be doing the World Championships, unfortunately. Pretty straightforward day for Evenepoel, no time lost, and his team didn't have to control too much either, so he'll be happy. Pedersen winning the stage ahead of Coquard, Ackermann right in fourth, Van Poppel, then Pacher, Escarra, Van Gils, Roglic, and Berardi rounding out the top 10. Here's what Pedersen had to say after the stage.
Alex, he delivered me in the last corner, so there was still like 800 meters to go. So it was perfect that they made a good hard tempo and that Pascal, he jumped early. It means I could, jump with him. But it was a long sprint, to follow Ackermann is also a full sprint. So it was a 330-meter sprint today.
Yeah, GC unchanged. Ayuso tested positive for COVID, but is able to stay in the race because he didn't test above a viral load threshold. So he's still in the race. So I'm glad we didn't lose any more top 10 GC riders to COVID. Sierra de la Pandera finished tomorrow and then Sierra Nevada on Sunday. Big GC days. Make sure you subscribe down below if you want to see the recaps of those, and I'll see you tomorrow.